Another commentator video for you guys. This time we are going to be going into a 7 Ara-Kara. The main difference for this video is I want to show you guys the other version of the frostdk builds that you can do, also known as the obliteration build. So this build really focuses around your Pillar of Frost and Reaper's Mark cooldown. So you have kind of a mini burst every 45 seconds. This build works really well if your tanks aren't pulling big or packs are dying too quick to not get full value from your breath build. It is still quite fun to play, it still does quite a bit of damage, and you can push it up to decent key levels. On alts, I've ran with frostdks that have done 11s and 12s and 13s with this build. And yeah, it's just personal preference what you prefer more, but I'm gonna show it to you guys and kind of talk about this dungeon and some tech we can do in it. And without further ado, let's get into this key. Alright, getting into this key, we're going to mount up because perfect. Pretty standard. Some groups pull down to this platform, others pull all the way to that mini boss over there. But this is a pure pug, so I'm not sure what we will be doing. It looks like we will be stopping, so I'm gonna throw down a Death and Decay. And then, oh, I'm not in breath, whoopsies. So I'm actually gonna Reaper's Mark and Pillar right away. I'm gonna pop my Trinket, Empowered Rune Weapon, send out my Frostworm's Fury, and kind of blow up this pack. The Shaman also did a pretty good job of it. But that's okay. Moving into these next pack, we are going to Slappy Hands to bring everything close. Remorseless Winter. We'll get on the mini boss for prio damage. Gonna use that Rhyme proc, and we're just gonna balance abilities here because we don't actually have any of our cooldowns. Tank's gonna get the kick for us. Gonna watch the frontal. You can actually stand behind the boss and not be hit by any of the frontals. You just have to be careful for these 2 eggs here. So gonna AMS that damage there. Healer ended up dying to it. And this is the affix for this week, so we just need to focus it down. Just by damaging it. Gonna pop a defensive because I'm actually getting low, and a health pot. Got a little bit lower than I thought I was going to. I guess we didn't have a healer, but that's okay. Just waiting for the healer to catch up. Alright, going into the next pull. Going to try not to run over the eggs, but I did a bad job of that. Gonna throw down Death and Decay. Pillar of Frost, Reaper's Mark, Trinket. And now we're just trying to spend Killing Machine procs. So, Killing Machine, Rhyme, Killing Machine. Gonna Frost Strike to try and gain some procs back. Killing Machine, Rhyme, Remorseless Winter, Rhyme, and our window is over. We're gonna drop another Death and Decay here, just to help with damage. And perfect. Those things will blow up. Do not stun them. Just run away from them. If you take the slow like I do for your Death and Decay, you can pop a Death and Decay even and just run away. Alright, going into this. Pillar of Frost, Trinket, Reaper's Mark, Racial, and Empowered Weapon. And now we are just spamming our obliterates. And by spamming, I mean trying to get the procs. And we'll try and focus this Emissary. So as you can see in this build, we get kind of a big window every few seconds, and we're still doing solid damage, right? We're still getting those 2 million damages and stuff like that. For this first Call of the Brute, it is physical damage. I am going to spend my Iceborne Fortitude as my defensive. This does a lot of damage. Just help your healers out. Pop it. It's physical damage. We can't AMS it, but you can still help your healer. I'm not going to use my cooldowns here, just because, as you can see, the Shaman is blasting this mini boss. It is over now. Watch the swirlies. I think they're still real. I guess not. Moving into this next mini boss, we will lock onto the Attendant just in case it casts, which it did. Perfect. We'll get behind the mini boss. We'll Pillar of Frost, Trinket, and now we're just spending Killing Machine procs. Right, same as always. We can drop a Death and Decay here as the other one was expiring. Gonna watch the frontal. spend killing machine procs. The nice thing about this build too is your Pillar of Frost windows are actually slightly longer than 12 seconds. You auto-attacking the mobs has a chance to extend your window. We'll get that kick there. Kind of in a bad spot of webs and poison, but everything is dead. Moving on to the boss. This boss is a little unfortunate as a melee. You kind of are stuck. Sometimes needing to help the ads. I think with 2 range, I'll be okay to just stay on the boss. So we're going to full open here. So Remorseless Winter, Pillar of Frost, Reaper's Mark, Trinket, Racial, Frostworm's Fury, and now just killing machine procs as much as we can. Empowered Rune Weapon to help with generation. When I don't have a proc, I will Frost Strike. If I have a Rhyme proc, I will use it. And I'm just trying to get as many killing machines off as I physically can in that window. I'm going to reapply Remorseless Winter here. Now I'm just balancing between runes and rune generation. Going to pop AMS here for this to help with a little bit of this damage. Even if you don't get hit by a web, them hitting the ground does damage you a little bit. Again, anything to help the healer. Going to get back on the boss here. Drop a Death and Decay. Pillar of Frost, Reaper's Mark, Trinket, and Killing Machine procs. So pretty simple gameplay loop and rotation for this build, but it does do a lot of damage. Oh, my keyboard just disconnected. That was weird. Well, we're back into our rotation. Didn't get a full window use there because obviously the keyboard disconnected. Again, watching our feet here. Just trying to drop them close to the pre-existing webs. Trying not to get hit by them. But this boss should be dead, and it is perfect. The Emissary, just gotta kill that. Pretty easy affix, I feel like, in my opinion, this week. Just need to kill the ad. Nothing crazy, no dispels like last week. Nothing like that. So this is a pretty big pull here, by standard. We are going to... Perfect. We're going to stay on our mount. We're going to get on the web mage. We're going to kick that. Remorseless Winter. Use the Rhyme proc. Drop a Death and Decay. Slappy Hands. Pillar of Frost. Try and hit as many ads as possible. And now we're just killing machine procs. We can use Empowered Rune Weapon to help with proc generation. Or sorry, rune generation. And we blew up that set. We're still in our window. So we'll try and get a few killing machine procs out on this guy before we're done. Perfect. We'll use our Rhyme, then our Remorseless Winter, and then our Rhyme proc again. Your Remorseless Winter will give you a Rhyme proc if you hit 3 new targets with it. So it's always good to try and spend a Rhyme proc if you have one stored up before you spend it. Or, sorry, before you pop Remorseless Winter. Just to help maximize your damage just that extra little bit more. It's not super important, but it helps. Alright, these are important. You can't let these stag shells get off, so Death and Decay. Gonna wait for a few runes here. We're gonna Racial and Trinket. Pillar, Mark, and then into our rotation of spending killing machines. This Bodyguard is kind of who you want to focus in these packs. The Emissary is up, so I'm gonna actually switch to that instead. Try and get that down, and then back on the Bodyguard. These reduce the damage of everything else in the group. So that is kind of the reason on which you want to try and get your prio damage down on them. Just going to finish this last ad before I run into this group. Going to hop on the Stag Shell, interrupt that. Pillar of Frost, Trinket, Reaper's... Use a proc, use another proc, and then Reaper's Mark. The reason I waited on the Reaper's Mark there was just because it does generate a killing machine proc for you. So if you can, try not to... You can only hold 2 killing machine procs at once, so try your best not to overlap that if you can. Nothing here, so I'm just basically spamming Obliterates, Rhyme procs when I get them in my Death and Decay. Got another Rhyme proc, put down another Death and Decay. Again, nothing crazy here. Just gonna keep spamming them. And can I kick that? Perfect. So we will have, this is a little bit of some DK tech you can do to save time. I wouldn't suggest it if you don't tell the tank, like I did not, but I'm going to do it anyways, because what's he going to do? Kick me? Smile? So you can pull that mob and then run down here and attack those guys just to help, you know, with some timing. You can double this pull. It helps. So just into our rotation, Pillar of Frost, Reaper's Mark, Trinket, and Racial. We'll pop in Empowered Rune Weapon and Killing Machine procs. Death and Decay is over, so we'll drop a new one of those, and back to Killing Machine procs. And the nice thing about pulling these groups onto each other is that no one really likes to send cooldowns on those mobs down there. But if you pull it onto both of those groups, then people feel a little bit more comfortable blowing their cooldowns, and it'll die faster, thus allowing you to time the key a little bit faster. But as you can see, the tank typed. He was confused, like, how did that pull? If your tank can't live it, then obviously that's not good. Okay, so Pillar of Frost, Reaper's Mark, Trinket, Killing Machine proc, Frostworm's Fury, and now just into spending as many as I can. Just trying not to stand in these circles. Getting over to where it is, dodging the frontal. It was a little unfortunate that that dude was on the other side of the platform, so we ended up not doing a lot in our window. Gonna switch to the ad here, just to make sure it dies. Kick that, and back on boss. Repop our Remorseless Winner. Gonna throw down a Death and Decay for a little bit of haste. Just getting ready for my next window here. So I'm letting the runes build up. I'll use a Rhyme proc. And now I'm going to Pillar of Frost, use the Mark, Trinket, and as you know, Killing Machine proc. Pretty repetitive video. Obviously try not to stand in these circles that I'm standing in. They apply a dot on you. Wow, I did not get a lot of procs there. That's super unfortunate. And we're just balancing runes and runic power again. Nothing crazy. So this build is very repetitive in terms of, like, your rotation is very similar in terms of, like, you're just doing certain abilities over and over and over again. Just gonna slappy hands here so this guy stays on, focusing the emissary. I'm in another window here shortly, so I'm going to Pillar of Frost, Reaper's Mark, Empowered Rune Weapon, Racial, and Trinket. I will just pop as many Killing Machine procs as I can. Oh, the boss was dead. I didn't even look at his HP bar. But there we are, 788k. Not great, not horrible. Could have had a slightly better windows, but it is what it is. This mob, you just have to watch your feet. Nothing too crazy. Like that. Pillar of Frost, Reaper's Market. Spend my Killing Machine procs. Kick that cast. Use the Rhyme proc. And there we go. Seems like a decently big pull. So these drones will jump to the furthest person away. So as a melee, it doesn't affect you too much, but if you ever switch to one of your tunes that is not a melee, if you stand in melee, they won't jump to you. And then therefore, you won't take as much damage. I have no cooldowns here, so I'm just in a Death and Decay, just kind of spamming Obliterates, Rhyme procs when I get them. Gonna reapply Remorseless Winner, use the Rhyme proc again. Nothing too crazy there. Gonna use this Warlock Portal. We somehow pulled that? I don't know how. Use the Rhyme proc. I'll slappy hands. Put down the Death and Decay. I don't know if we're pulling that. So I'm gonna aim my Pillar of Frost this way. Don't want to pull extra mobs. Trinket. I will Frostworm's Fury this as well. And just spending killing machine procs. Can put down a new death and decay. And this pack is good and gone. Nice and simple. Hopefully he doesn't pull them together perfect. So we can actually dodge these AoEs, the stun, the 1 second stun, by AMSing and Iceborne Fortituding. So it can help you just kind of keep your DPS, especially if you're in a window, which I'm about to be. So I'm just setting up for that. So I'll let this AoE hit me, and then I'll go into my window. So I'm going to Trinket, Racial, Pillar of Frost, Reaper's Mark, Killing Machine, Killing Machine, Killing Machine, Frost Strike, Remorseless Winter, Frost Strike, Iceborne Fortitude, Proc, 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 Frost Strike, and Proc. And that was the window. So solid window there. And now I'm just back to balancing my resources. I'm going to get knocked by this AoE, but that's okay. Reapply Remorseless Winter, drop my Ghoul, go into the double Overseer pack. Use the Rhyme proc, I'll kick the one I'm on. Setting up for my window here, just letting some runes generate. Watch my feet, don't want to get hit. I'm going to pop a Trinket, Pillar of Frost, Reaper's Mark, Killing Machine proc, Death and Decay, Killing Machine, kick, Rhyme, Killing Machine, Remorseless Winter, Killing Machine, Rhyme, gotta watch my feet, Killing Machine, and Rhyme. And we'll just kind of finish them off. We won't resend abilities if we get them, just because they should die. We overlapped kicks there, but that's fine. This is the only thing that you can kick in this pack. And now we're on to the last boss. This boss is pretty cool because we actually don't need any of the puddles in here. We can always use Death's Advance Charge and it won't pull us. So we're coming into the boss now. We're going to Pillar of Frost it, Trinket, watch our feet, Reaper's Mark, and just into our rotation. So Killing Machine, Rhyme, Killing Machine. What I should have done there is pre-AMS that, but I have the talent still from last week's affix that dispels myself, so I ended up dispelling the poison on me, which also works if you take that talent right now. So this is it. So I'm going to hit the boss for a few seconds. When the bar gets close, I'm going to Death's Advance, step out, and we're back in. And we can slappy hands now because no one needs their puddles anymore. Gonna watch my feet. Setting up for this next window, I'm gonna Trinket and Racial. Now I'm gonna Pillar of Frost, Frostworm's Fury, Reaper's Mark, and Killing Machine, Rhyme. I'm gonna Frost Strike because I don't have any runes. Killing Machine, Remorseless Winter, Frost Strike, Rhyme because I can't touch the boss. Killing Machine, Frost Strike, Killing Machine, and back to just balancing because the window is over now. So same thing. Gonna just damage the boss for a few seconds, and now I'll get out by using Death's Advance. Gonna repop my Ghoul, Remorseless Winter, and I'm just waiting for my next window to come off cooldown. I can AMS myself. Be a little careful with if you take the cleanse, because if you insta-cleanse and someone's on you, they will kind of take damage. So just setting up for the window, Trinket, Pillar of Frost, Reaper's Mark, Killing Machine, Rhyme, Killing Machine, Frost Strike, and that is the boss. So there we go. That is our 7. We did 1.16 mil overall. This is our breakdown, our obliterates, our Reaper's Mark, stuff like that. For reference, the Shaman was 617, the Aflock was 618. I'm obviously 629, so a little bit higher in DPS from me. So yes, this build is a little bit lower in overall damage, but it does kind of allow you to be a little bit more consistent, especially if packs are going to die really quickly. Obviously, I'm not as practiced in it as I am in the Breath build, so there is stuff that you could probably optimize when it comes to this build, but I would say give it a try. If you like it, great, keep running with it. If you don't, no worries. There's no harm, there's no foul in running this build, but But yeah, that's where we're at. And if you want to try the build, great. If not, if you want to see a Breath build, I will link those in the description. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.